Alright guys, here we go. Episode 68, playing against Washington State Cougars. It's our first game of Season 5. Hopefully this season turned out a lot better than last season did. I mean, my offense is a 90 overall, which is pretty good. My top players are my running back, my kicker, and a quarterback that will never play unless two of my quarterbacks get hurt. And then their top players are punter, kicker, and center. And Marshall, looking forward to having a good season with him. I really need it. I lost my Heisman Trophy winner from a couple of years ago, who didn't even go pro. He just took it, and was happy with it, man. He didn't want to deal with it. Didn't want to start him. So 3rd and 3, try to get the first down. Hit the little out route just short. So 4th and 1. I probably should have hit the running back out of the backfield to the left there, but I missed him. So 4th and 1. Trying for a 57-yard field goal. I have confidence in my kicker. Kicks up, and it is off the upright. Dadgummit, man. Had the leg for it. Easily just missed it. So in the second quarter now, back and forth game. Adkins is in, my backup running back. My starter, Marshall, actually got hurt. He was out for the game. So Adkins came in and did work. Good first play that he had. And then bust the outside run right there. 32-yard touchdown. Adkins tearing it up, man. He ended up having a really good game, which I was very happy with. And then Turner is my third string running back. Dump off a little screen pass to him, who he's a little bit slower, Deion Turner. Actually, he's considerably slower. Oh my gosh, that shooter's face. Whoa. What happened to your face, girl? Wow. God totally threw me off guard. So I come out in a normal read option play. They don't cover anybody, so Otto will do it. Hit Chris Jones for the touchdown. We go up 14-0. Drop back into a little screen pass. Adkins again. Get those blocks downfield. Try to make a move. Break his tackle, kind of. Fall for about another 3 or 4 yards, but not quite enough to get in. So go a little off tackle. Give Adkins his due. And look at the blocking, man. Look at that blocking. So looking forward to that. At this point in the game, which is before the half, we have 234 rushing yards, man. At least as of that play. Going into the halftime, seeing what the stats are and figuring it out. We have 133 passing yards, 234 rushing yards. Had the ball for 7 minutes. They have 60 yards. We have 367 yards. I mean, that's a huge difference in stat wise. That's for sure. But they're not done yet. We got a 21-0 lead. 3rd and 16. Drop back to pass and throws it, and it's almost picked. Almost double picked, but not quite fortunate enough there. As you saw, I had 2 turnovers. One was at the half, and the other was not so much. But nothing happened off of it on them. So 4th and 16, they go for the field goal, and takes them into the 3rd quarter, about halfway through it, to get their first points of the game. 21-3. So we get the ball now, 3rd and 7. Hand it off to Adkins again, who jukes like their whole defensive line. It almost gets in for the touchdown. So 1st and goal. Trying to make it in. We don't get in on 1st and goal. There's a little read option. My quarterback didn't quite make it. And off to Adkins, who just runs it right up the middle. Actually, just walks it right up the middle for the touchdown. We go up 28-3. About 1:55 left, and they're not giving up. In the 3rd quarter now, 3rd and 1. Hands it off to the running back, who actually has a really good game, man. They had 60 yards at the half, and they've got they absolutely exploded the second half. Almost get the tackle there, don't quite get him. So they get their first touchdown of the season into the 4th quarter now. And we got a pretty sizable lead, 28-10, but not. We could always use more. Adkins breaking tackles, making plays happen for us, and that puts us up. It is now 2nd and inches with about 6 minutes left. Go for a little read option. Try to get anybody in the end zone. Quarterback keeper, and whoops! Oh my gosh! Quarterback with some moves, man. Brett Reed just absolutely spun that guy out of his shoes. We get on the board again, 35-10. We're just trying to end the game now, and he throws it. Finner picks it off, and 2 guys miss a tackle. He's going the distance. Nobody on their team's going to catch him. No way, no how. And we get a pick 6. Our first turnover of the season is a pick 6. I will take it. That puts us up 42-10. End up kicking a field goal a little bit later. So about 1:30 left, 2nd and 6. Drop back to pass, and almost got him. Breaks it, but luckily the other 3 guys were right there. We'll sack him for a 7-yard loss. 3rd and 13. A minute left. Drops back to pass, and as you can see, X is who that usually would be. Ingram absolutely beat my corner off the line. Safety couldn't get over there in time, and they just bust a huge pass play on me to score again, 45-17. So into the 4th quarter now. I'm just trying to save face because the onside kicked it twice on me and throw it deep, try to make a big play happen, and I get picked off again, the 3rd pick of the game. And that's how we end it after he runs over a couple of my offensive players. We end up getting the win. First game of the season, 45-17. Significant improvement over last year, I say, even with some of the young guys on defense and on offense. But it's showing, at least in that game. We got what we needed, which was a win to start the season, especially at home. So a huge game for us and our new players. Atkins, player of the game, 20 carries, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 catches for 30 yards. And he's not even the starter. I think the quarterback had over 100 yards passing and over 100 yards rushing. He had a really good game. So looking at the games, Marshall and Miami University, that game's different. We had the new guy joined as Marshall, so that game's not right, but everything else is. Currently, I'm checking out the stats. 353 rushing yards, 158 passing yards, 3 turnovers. Not so good there. Players of the game was Atkins and Lawrence, defensive tackle. Looking good to start the season, and we'll be right back to show what everybody else did. Alright guys, we're back. Just got done showing the highlights from the game against Washington State. It ended up being a good start to the season, especially how we ended. It's nice to have that turn around. So let's see how everybody else did in the Dynasty. LSU did not play their game this week, so sorry I'm going to have to skip past you. Actually checked his profile. Hasn't been on in like 2 weeks, so hopefully everything's okay. We're going to skip past you this week. Mississippi State ends up losing to Florida State 49-17, and that is outside of the range I would like it to be. But he did send me a message saying that he put on accelerated clock and ran it. And looking at the stats, because the stats I can see online before the advance, he only scored 1 time in the second half. So easily could have been worse off than what that was based off the first half stats. Now, could have been adjustments, whatever, but whenever he did start going a little bit easier, he only scored once, and that was within he was what, 42-17, and that's within the 28-point range. So it's borderline, but it is what it is, man. Hopefully, but I'd rather not be that far again, but I mean, you can only do so much. Auburn had a bye week this week. The new guy, Dr. Duncan Stein, welcome to the Dynasty, man. He picked up Marshall. He ends up getting the win 31-21. Kansas ends up winning 38-35. Close game there. Missouri had a bye week this week. Rutgers and Zinc Spoon, UCLA. That was a rematch of the national championship game. UCLA sent me a message saying he wouldn't be able to play. So put him on autopilot. And that's why the game is the way it is. So it's against the computer. Doesn't matter to me what the score was. If it's against the computer, it's like Florida State and Clemson last year. They just put up like hundreds of points. So if it's against the computer, doesn't matter. A user, it does. So new number 1 starting next week. Zinc Spoon's been number 1 for a long time. TCU had a bye week this week, and Ole Miss ends up getting the win 52-21. Gonna go ahead and look at some of these other stats too. The preseason polls, just to see where everybody started out the season ranked. UCLA, Ole Miss, Florida State, LSU. Round off the top 10. Auburn, Rutgers, Virginia. Vanderbilt, and that round off the top 25. And then Missouri's almost there, real close to being ranked again. And then some of these other teams that everybody switched to. TCU is 81, Marshall is 87, Mississippi State 91, Kansas 98. That should be everybody in the Dynasty. Yeah, so that's everybody. That's everybody sitting as of right now. The start of the season, preseason All-Americans and all that jazz. We'll check out the Heisman watch just to see who they have projected to start the season. Meade, Florida State, which really good at running back. I would definitely not be surprised if he won it. UCLA, I've never played UCLA, so I don't know, but he had a running back win it as a freshman and was in the running last year. ECU's quarterback, it was a user, no longer a user anymore, but still 95 overall for ECU is pretty good. Then Georgia Tech, and then Rutgers quarterback. So a lot of users on that list. But what we're going to do is we're going to advance it real quick, see how everybody did, see the shakeups in the top 25, and we'll be right back. All right, just get done with the advance. This week I play against Kansas. He's one of the guys that requested to play another user. So we will see what's going on there. Hopefully I can pull out the win there. My record against users is not too good. See who everybody else does. LSU has NC State. Mississippi State has Nebraska. Florida State plays Georgia Tech. Auburn plays UConn. Marshall plays Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, I'm pretty sure. I'll play Kansas. Missouri plays TCU. Packers Rogers. That could be a good game right there. Rutgers has a bye week. TCU plays Missouri. UCLA drops from number 1 to number 10. They play Washington State, and the new number 1, Ole Miss, plays Kentucky. Let's see what in the world actually happened in the world of top 25. Of course, number 1 lost, and that's the only change. Everything else stayed the same in the top 10. So he just swapped with number 1, went to number 10. Everybody else moved up a slot. Rutgers moved up 3 to number 12. I moved up 1. And then Alabama ended up losing. So Missouri is now ranked. Anybody close? Nobody that's a user is close yet, but surely here pretty quick as soon as we get the season rolling a little bit more and get everything taken care of there. But as of right now, that's going to be it. Like I said, hopefully I can hope to get the win against Kansas. It's going to be an interesting game. He's the new guy. Nobody's played him yet. To my knowledge, so it's gonna be interesting to see the play style there. But that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time.